kind of suppressed it.
No.
But at the same time, punk saved rock from being pro sports. So
Well, with all with all of that, it didn't matter that they didn't become big, because to us they were big.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was the pictures that got small.
yeah, yeah.
We were big. We had faces. And it was the digital age that shrunk it. Yes, to us that didn't matter. That they weren't. I didn't remember disappointment, because to us it was big enough. To them not. If to the bean counters not, but to the fans it was it was
Everything.
quite big and everything.
Yeah. So, and then eventually, so you fell into this thing of becoming a rock and roll star, and part of the, you were obviously this ace face, and you were obviously had all this charisma, and people wanted to be around you, and they wanted you to be in their gang. But there was also maybe part of the appeal of you being headhunted by these, kind of visionary people was, this aspect of amateurism. And I just wanted to ask you about amateurism and whether it's been a fear of yours to learn too much, to lose that amateurism or whatever.
Obviously, it's a fear. I haven't learned much, but it is that I have had that fear. Actually, I had the fear I didn't know enough. Probably somewhere in the middle of all the, making records, starting to make records and becoming popular and being in different bands, I thought I won't get another job if I don't know more. And that actually fear went away. Actually, when I started my own with the Pink Monkey Birds, my own band, because then I thought, wait, I know a lot, and I thought I could, It was actually the big inspiration was I went to go see the Cramps after not seeing them for maybe 12 years or so, and we had a reunion of sorts of friendship, and I went to see them, and I was just, my jaw dropped on the ground, and I was like, this is incredible. It's the same three chords,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of bands play these same three chords, but this band just is from Venus and heaven, and I just realized, dying. Oh, it's them.
Yeah.
It's them, and that's what's making this sound like that, and that is what's coming through the fingers and the voice and the drums, is their freedom and their personality, and I thought, wait a minute. I said, I've been part of this, and I know what that is, and I know how to harness that, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so from then on, I had an epiphany of sorts, and the whole idea that I need to learn more in a way, but I learn more I learned through experimenting. I learned through experience. I learned everything by going on stage.
Yeah.
That's the way I learned, and I don't see why I shouldn't keep learning that way.
Yeah.
Always learning.
So I wanted to know about just, I know that when you have this, when you're a rock and roll star and you put out these records, they're almost like tattoos, and they kind of accumulate on your body like barnacles, and there's this idea that you're kind of, they kind of define you, and it's sometimes hard to, it's kind of, it's your identity or whatever. And I'm just wondering, writing a memoir, was it difficult because it's sort of like just the vulnerability of the book and kind of telling people where you're from, and this sort of or is it more mystification, like Chuck Barris or something? You know?
I think I'm more like Chuck Barris than a rock star, but
Well, you know his autobiography.
Yeah.
Is
it's quite a piece of work.
yeah, or Mingus or something.
Yes. Well, you know, there was a few things, you know, being of an older age, you know, as the older I get, the less fucks I give about what people think about me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but it's not that I don't care what people think about me. You know,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. Or else I wouldn't be sitting right here right now, talking to you.
Yeah.
But it was a scary process. You know, I had done a lot of work. You know, the book stops in 1997, so that's 25 years ago. So you know, I've done a lot of work and reflection on those times, and the end. You know, it was coming. Actually, the end part of the book, I had to kind of I was coming to terms with it as I was writing it and happening it. But a lot of the earlier stuff, you know, I had done work in different ways, you know, to deal with that, you know, therapeutic ways.
How do you remember like what happened? Did you like did you gather people together who could kind of like jog your memory, or do you just have some people have these kind of incredible memories?
Well, it was actually, you know, I talked to different people, and actually Lydia Lunch told me about because she wrote a memoir, Paradoxia, and she just said, you know, you have to, what sticks out to you, and what are the important, like, landmarks that you remember, you know, and then the rest is, you know, there, and so that was it, you know, and a lot of the main points were just things stuck in my memory.
Yeah.
Like, that's when the whole idea of snapshots, they were like, boom, these snapshots in my mind of different acid trips, different things of being a kid, different things, you know, and so the way I did that, and then I started working with editor and co-writer Chris Campion, and I gave them a first draft, and they said, "Oh, you're not telling everything here." It's like, fuck. You know.
You got me.
Yeah, you got me. And then there was that became a process of extracting things out of my memory and myself, my inner self, and yeah, and I talked to a lot of people. Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. Yeah.
One scene in the book that I really love is when you're talking about your mother making this mural and you painting this mural with her, and it made me think of that, you know, this Agnes Varda film, Mura Mura, which is about Mexican and or just mural painting in Los Angeles. It's from 1980, and there's in the film there's some South American woman who's like, well, this is what Mexicans do. They create murals everywhere. It's like some woman from I forget where, Colombia or something. And but the book is kind of like this mural. It's like this idea of creating this world or this painting of like, you know, it's I don't know. It's really just a groovy book. And I kind of wanted to because we're in Los Angeles, and this book is kind of like. This book has so many places in it, and I thought it was kind of cool. Like, it would be cool to like just think about what, you know, the world of, you know, Kid Congo in, you know, this kind of formative rock and roll period. And I was just thinking, like, I'm not from Los Angeles, so I don't know if I'm really qualified to, you know, draw a map. But you know, like, I just thought we should maybe try. You know, so like maybe if this was like, you know, I don't know, you know, the 101, and then like this is like Sunset, and that's like, you know, Santa Monica Boulevard. Then, you know, then I've got these addresses here in the book, and I just thought maybe we could just, and because we're around a lot of Angelinos, including yourself, and
Maybe we can get some help.
Yeah, maybe we can get some help. So first we have this place, Disgraceland, 1553. Well, let's start with something easy. Rodney's English Disco, 7561 Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Strip, not even Sunset Strip. That was between Fairfax and
like
Gardner,
Gardner, yeah.
near Gardner. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put that right here. Which side of which side of the street? Which side of the street do you think it was on?
You're on the right side of the street.
Okay, so then we've also got this let's keep it easy right now. Okay, so then the whiskey. Now, where's the whiskey in regard?
Further west.
Okay,
over
so
here.
okay, the whiskey's over
Onto
here.
the Sunset Strip. Yeah.
Okay, we'll say it's there because we're gonna. I think we have to go all the way to Beverly Hills in this book. So okay, so Ronnie's English Disco is in the book, and then and the Licorice Pizza. That
That's
was
in
on
North Hollywood.
Oh, that's on North.
So-
yeah.
so we're
Hollywood
some-
Boulevard does this weird thing. Like I still can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe
like
you wanna draw it? Yeah.
So what was this? This is the 101.
Well, this is the 101. This is
So
Sunset.
actually,
This is Santa Monica.
This will be Highland Avenue, say.
Oh, perfect.
Right here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's the house on Highland Avenue. Jeffrey Lee Pierce
cool.
made a song, and but so North Hollywood be like, you know, here's the Hollywood Bowl. Look,
Oh, yeah.
look at the Hollywood Bowl.
Perfect.
And so North Hollywood's actually somewhere like right here.
Oh,
And
well, see, I was gonna put like
That's-
Boyle Heights right there. So I was kind
LP.
of going really like.
No, we have to go up. So that's LP Licorice.
Oh, that's
Right
Licorice
there.
Pizza. Okay, cool. Okay. So now there's this place that you keep going to. So you worked at Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
So now there's also this place, Canterbury Apartment Hotel, 1746
Oh,
North Cherokee
Cherokee.
Avenue.
So if that's Highland, Cherokee is somewhere like here.
Okay,
and
cool.
and
So this is for the
Sunset.
this is for the Kid Congo walking tour.
So Hollywood Boulevard will be here.
Okay, cool.
So let's say the Canterbury is there.
Okay, cool. And tell us about the Canterbury Hotel. Or?
Well, it was an old hotel that some people who are here live there. I know that for a fact. I never lived there. I bunked down over at the Wilton Hilton, which is further on the other side of the 101, isn't it? It's like here, Wilton.
That's yeah.
I just saw Chloe
That
walk
is.
in. Yes. So that's Wilton.
Okay, so that's
And that's by Franklin. So if that's Hollywood Boulevard, this will be Franklin. And we'll put a big F.
yeah.
And this is where that was.
So then, so the Wilton Hilton was a group
Oh,
house.
no,
that you
sorry,
lived in.
that's not it. It's over here.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, so then
I just got off a plane.
he was in New York City last night.
This
New
morning.
York City. Okay, and now the Mask, 1655 North
Oh,
Cherokee.
very near the Canterbury.
So that's a club that's also
And that
featured
was
in the book.
by Hollywood Boulevard too, right here.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
By the Canterbury.
Okay.
Arms.
And then there's a place, there's a club called the Blue Parrot on 8851 Santa Monica.
Oh, so we're here, Santa Monica Boulevard.
Santa
Then we're
Monica.
on West Hollywood here.
Okay.
BP.
Okay, so
That was near
That's another
when I
thing.
lived at 909.
So take note because this is going to be a paid tour. But if you look at the map, then you can save some money. Okay, then also Duke's Coffee Shop. You guys go to Duke's Coffee Shop.
Also on Santa Monica Boulevard, but a little more like here. That's the Tropicana. That was at the Tropicana Motel.
Oh, the Tropicana is in the book as well.
Yes, and that
What
is-
happens to the Tropicana?
It's a hotel. It's a rock and roll hotel of a middle club size band. All the new punk rock bands stayed there. It was the favorite place to stay. And Duke's was the coffee shop that
Oh,
was
yeah, Duke's, yeah.
adjacent.
Okay, and then also Gazzari's is in the book because you played your first show at
Okay,
Gazzari's.
so that's on the other side of the whiskey, just a little
Thank you.
further. So actually, I'll put the rainbow.
Oh yeah, the
whiskey,
rainbows in there.
and then Gaz. Let's call it Gaz's. Gazzari's.
Yeah. Okay, so then there's Arby's is in this, and it's on Sunset.
We're back on Highland. Okay, Arby's. I got my first, where I gave my first blowjob.
And then
No,
there's
right near there.
and
It
then
wasn't in a sandwich or anything.
so then there's Denny's on Sunset as well. 73 Sunset.
Oh yeah, well. Let's see. Was this Rodney's?
Yeah. that's-
Rod's, and then Denny's was, I think, right here.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Okay, and then the this gold cup.
Back to Highland.
That's on. Oh, I thought that was on Las Palmas and.
Las
Hollywood,
Palmas, Las
and
Palmas.
Hollywood Boulevard.
No, I'm lost at what street is what.
That's all right. You can.
Arby's is
can-
Highland.
nobody will know
This
the
will be
difference.
Las Palmas. Okay, this is Las Palmas or Cherokee, close enough. And Arnett's there.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Disgraceland on 1553.
On Selma Avenue. So
Oh,
we
is it-
are
I think it's Castile Place in your book.
Castle and Selma. So we got where are we here? Santa Monica.
That's Santa Monica, yeah.
That's Sunset.
That's Sunset, yeah.
So Sunset. So Selma. It's like down here.
Perfect.
It's right there.
Okay.
So we got disgrace. A lot of disgrace there.
Okay, cool. And and then the Roxy.
Oh, that's right by the rainbow and the whiskey. But everything was set
Yeah.
up right here.
And then also the Source Family Restaurant where
Also
you
on
encounter
Sunset.
Sky Saxon. In the book.
Yeah. And that was, where was that?
That was on
Sunset.
Sunset. It's 8301.
Sweetser. So is it on the other side of the whiskey? No. It's before the whiskey, between Rodney's and the whiskey. So, yeah. Yeah, so let's play the Source. Yeah,
Okay.
Sky Saxon picked me and some girls up hitchhiking, and he was the dishwasher at the Source. He told us.
Likely story. Okay. So
But
then
do you know, I later in life, I met Sky Saxon, and I said, do you know you picked me and some girls up when we were 15? We were hitchhiking on Sunset, and you picked me and some girlfriends of mine up, and he went, oh no.
okay, so then finally, now we're going to go all the way east to La Puente.
Oh, La Puente. Is the gente from La Puente in the house? Oh, yeah. I knew it. So, is this the 10 or 101? So we gotta go. So we're heading east. Well, we go 20 miles this way. 20 miles, and then we hit the SGV. All right, there we go. Where it all started for me.
And then you also lived in Boyle Heights.
My grandmother lived in Boyle Heights, and that was well. Where's now? I'm lost. Where's downtown LA? Right here.
It's irrelevant apparently because you spent all of your time on the Sunset Strip.
This is downtown, and Boyle Heights is right here, right here. I was just there today at Union Station.
All right, so
All right.
and then you record at Ocean Way Recording with the Gun Club.
Oh, back on Sunset, and yeah, it's all right here.
Anyway,
It's a
This
big
gives
net.
us- this gives
Actually,
us
this
attention.
tour, you don't have to go very far.
it's a walking tour
Yes.
with one helicopter excursion. Okay, so so this is cool. I
There
think
we
this
go.
is cool.
I think we have our map of
Yeah.
the Kid Congo homes.
And then so it's interesting how west everything is because now, of course, that's just a dead zone
Yeah.
because capitalism kills. Okay, so maybe we should hear something from the book.
Okay.
A teaser, a sizzle reel of sorts.
Nah, it's like what to read. There's a whole book.
Read the whole thing.
Of things. Yeah. There's my copy. So, maybe I could take a poll. What do we have? We have acid trips in West Hollywood. We have stealing a car and driving to San Francisco. We have shoplifting at the Mayfair Market, going to jail. And then we have recording of the Las Vegas story. This is kind of an interesting piece. And I would read about the Cramps, but there was a thing in the LA Weekly just today. They printed an excerpt that's about that, so you can read that in your own privacy. Or I could start at the beginning and talk about. We could start at La Puente and the San Gabriel Valley. Why don't we do that? Okay. Number one. This is chapter one is called The Feminine Bridge. They say some people are born under a bad sign. I was born under a bad bridge. Well, not bad, just mixed up and wrong. A bridge that couldn't decide whether it was male or female. I grew up in La Puente, California, a largely Hispanic suburb east of Los Angeles. Whoever named the town must have flunked first grade Spanish, simply misheard what someone else had said, or maybe didn't even speak a word, because a bridge is always, without fail, male. But we were named La Puente. Ours was female. Was it bisexual, transsexual, pansexual, gender fluid? And where was this bridge? There was no bridge that I knew of in La Puente, not even a river to cross. But that wasn't the only neighborhood misnomer causing me confusion as a child. A few blocks from my home was the City of Industry, the next town along from La Puente. Only it didn't smell like oil and dust, but tomato ketchup and strawberry jam that wafted out of the Kearns factory abutting the train tracks at the end of East Temple Avenue. An invisible, fragrant cloud hung over the entire area, inducing an olfactory schizophrenia in the local population. On strawberry jam days, life was sweet, without a care in the world. On tomato ketchup days, for some reason, the people were crabbier. Perhaps it was made from a deadly nightshade. My sister Barbara worked down the road from Kearns at the Mattel toy factory. Now, there was my kind of industry. In my imagination, she worked on the production line in a Willy Wonka wonderland alongside green-haired troll dolls, tinkering away, making toys galore. In reality, the Mattel factory was your run-of-the-mill urban sweatshop. I hate my job was a common refrain from my big sis when she got home from work, exhausted from the mundane daily drudgery. I happily ignored her reality check for my fantasy because she would often bring home discarded seconds in broken or misshapen Hot Wheels cars, so much the rage for little boys at the time. They were going to throw these in the garbage, she'd tell me. I worked too hard to see them get trashed. I figured you might be able to play with them anyway. Given that most of the muscle cars I was gifted usually had no more than 3 wheels, were so banged up that they had doors or interiors missing, it was difficult to play with them in the way Mattel intended. I created my own entertainment. Those broken up vehicles just happened to be perfect for playing demolition derby. I would smash them together and send them careening over the end of a table to some terrible demise. I think I was probably inspired by my love for the commercials I used to see on TV for the nearby Irwindale Speedway, where supercharged customized hot rods raced along the strip every weekend. The commercials were a riot of noise and a real turn-on. Motors revving, cars colliding, and the announcer screaming his lungs out at the top of it all. Barb also used to bring me tons of warped pieces of plastic tracks with hairpin twists and turns, which afforded me hours of fun, creating endless roads to nowhere, my favorite destination. La Puente's road to nowhere arched north to a freeway overpass, the closest thing we had to a genderless bridge, and landed right in the middle of Hell Town. At least, that's what my mother told me they used to call Baldwin Park in the 50s. Because it was the place you went to partake in any sinful activity involving drugs, prostitutes, and guns. Thanks for the tip, Mom. If you were lucky enough to crawl out of Helltown on your hands and knees back to the overpass, a meditative respite awaited you. Just 2 blocks from our family abode was a solemn-looking red brick building with a perfectly manicured lawn outside. You never ever saw anyone going in or out of the front doors. This was the Burroughs Corporation building, a nightmare-inducing Twilight Zone episode to some. The Burroughs Corporation was a Zen garden to me, radiating coldness and endless mystery while striking fear into the population at large. The public's mind focused on a fear of the unknown. If visitors from another planet were already here on Earth, I imagine they probably worked in that building. It was only in my adulthood that I would put 2 and 2 together and realize that the company was founded by the grandfather of my favorite author, William S. Burroughs. Adding further to the fractured collective of psyche of the town, La Puente had 2 drive-in theaters mere blocks away that projected movies in a direct moral conflict with each other. To the south, the Vineland played family-oriented first-run fare, like Disney's The Love Bug. The most subversive movie to play there may have been Jerry Lewis and the Nutting Professor. A quick hop to the west was the Edgewood Drive-In, whose stock in trade was almost exclusively sexploitation and horror movies, like Psych Out, Spider Baby, The Gruesome Twosome. You could say the Edgewood was really on the edge. Every parent in La Puente was presented with a moral dilemma when it came to a night out. It was like you had to choose between good and evil. The kids on our block were lucky ducks because all we had to do was crawl onto the roof of our parents' houses to see both screens clear as day. And even better if you swiped your dad's binoculars. Guess which was the more popular drive-in? In craning our necks to sneak a peek at all the skin and sin we could, we bratty kids coined the term, "The West is the best," long before Madison Avenue or Jim Morrison. This was my entire frame of reference as a kid growing up in La Puente. A sexually ambiguous bridge, sweet and sour air, disjointed toys, morally exempt celluloid, Helltown, and mysterious, creepy buildings. As I look back on it, my fate was set to never look at anything without an eye askew.